welcome to the Silver Linings Talk Show. We are so excited about our show today. We have with us Brian Carroll and Jennifer Carroll, the executive directors of Deer Lake Outdoor Center. And don't we all love to be outdoors? It's coming to be that time of year. We're going to start with a sneak peek, so take a listen to this.
Well, that was an amazing intro. What a beautiful place you have there, Jennifer and Brian.
Thank you.
Diane did a beautiful intro. So we'd love to learn more about how you ended up at Deer Lake
You want to start with this?
Outdoor Center.
Sure.
Yes.
So I grew up in Clinton, just a few miles from where Deer Lake is today, and I actually got my first job working at what was then Deer Lake Day Camp, and it was solely the day camp rented out from the Scouts when they owned the property at the time. So we left and met a few years later at the Coast Guard Academy, and ended up moving around the world, but that entire time kind of daydreamed about ending up back at Deer Lake.
When we first started dating, he brought me to Deer Lake, one of the first places he brought me, and we did trail maintenance way back when.
That was a date?
Yeah.
It worked.
It was a date.
Wow. Okay. That's awesome. I love that story. Yes, I love the full circle.
It really is, yeah.
Of Deer Lake in your life, which is very cool. And I love the fact too, and thank you for your service. I think the both of you were in the Coast Guard, right?
Yep.
And thank you both so much for your service.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I am so excited for people to really be able to experience Deer Lake Outdoor Center today, because we have so many gorgeous photos. We get to talk about different parts of your center, what you bring to the community. And let's just start in by, there was a point in time the center had to be saved, right? Can we talk about like the piece of saving the center? And I know you brought us a couple of really good graphics to share with us too.
Yes. So, yes, Deer Lake was being sold by the Boy Scouts. And through that process, it was in danger of being developed, which would have been beautiful for a select few, but obviously the goal is to have it for everyone. So we had an amazing outpouring of support, over 450 donors from multiple countries, multiple states, and in a matter of 7 weeks, they raised $4 million.
That's amazing. Wow. So here are the states.
Yes, in pink. Yep.
In pink, who donated. So as we're seeing, like, people from California.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I think it's just a testament to how important and close to people's hearts Deer Lake is. It has a long history of bringing families together, and now we can continue.
Can you just explain this quickly?
Sure. So this was an infographic near the end of the Save Deer Lake campaign. Ultimately, it was purchased for almost $4.8 million, but at the time, we had raised $4.152 million. And like I said, we had at least 450 individual donors from all over the world, honestly, that cared
And
for
3
it.
continents.
Yes, 3 countries.
3 countries.
Yes.
See if I could read that.
It's all right.
Well, that's pretty awesome. Diane, we want to bring it back to you in terms of, we want to learn more about Deer Lake.
Yes, I can't wait to hear about the property.
Yes.
And all that it offers. I heard that you have like year-round camping, and there's a lake, obviously. So tell us all about it.
Yeah.
You're right. We have year-round camping. I believe we are one of the only campgrounds that are open year-round for winter camping in particular. Our main focus is really youth programs. So we have a variety of youth groups who use the property. We see Scouting America groups. We see growing use by Girl Scouts, and they're camping throughout the year. And then during the summer, we really focus on our youth programs, and we run summer camps. So I'm sure we'll talk about that a little bit later, but we have a day camp program for kindergarten through 8th grade, and then we have a high school program, and we see about 225 campers a day throughout the summer.
And we're seeing some of the photos now of some of the summer camp photos that have come up while you're chatting, like canoeing and...
Yeah, we're really a traditional old-fashioned camp, you know, leave your phones at home, and then you make those lifelong connections with friends and memories. So yes, we have swimming, obviously, archery, arts and crafts, nature, and then we have Wilderness Challenge, teaching wilderness survival skills. It's just, we're outside all the time, even in the rain. Rainy day hikes are the best.
We hear from a lot of parents that their children come home absolutely filthy, but with huge smiles on their faces, and they're singing songs and
exhausted.
I love it.
Now, you had mentioned educational programs. Can you delve into a little bit more about what those are versus events that you're hosting? Because, I mean, you run the gamut. You're not just, it's not just summer camp.
True.
Yes, our educational programs are sort of growing. Last fall, we did a Women in the Wilderness 3-part series, sort of a 101 level class, introduction to rock climbing, canoeing, and mountain biking. And our goal really is to break down those barriers to entry. We want everyone to feel they have access to outdoor education. And we're also partnering with Youth and Family Services, offering some youth and caregiver programs. We just did one on map reading and compass use this weekend. And we've also worked with some leadership groups from different universities. And it's just, you know, we're just slowly growing.
I love how you're expanding.
I was going to say, because that's something that you can't just plug it into the calendar and have it blow up.
No, there's
right?
a lot.
It takes a
leading up
lot
to it.
for these things
Yes.
to grow.
Yes.
So you must have partnerships that are growing in the communities, like
Yes.
Youth and Family Services, but above and beyond just the community.
Yeah, networking has really been our goal, right? Because you know the community helped save Deer Lake, and so I feel like we exist for that community, and so providing them opportunities is what it's all about.
Yes. And you said that you also, as far as the camping, you had discussed about like, we can do like tent camping in the winter, or for someone like myself, you have the cabins.
We do. We do have the very, very rustic campsites where you can hike in, and there's a campfire ring there, but other than that, it's nature. And then we do have cabins available year-round as well. And I think one of the things that makes us unique is that we don't do recreational vehicles, so you're not going to be in the middle of a large field with other vehicles with generators humming nearby. We're really focused on being outdoors and the benefits that provides all of us.
And I think I heard that you're also hosting a 5K.
Yeah, that's our next big event coming up. Back before COVID, they had their inaugural Deer Lake Trail Run, and it was just under 5 miles, and it went very well, and people were very excited to have it back, and they started it the next year, and then COVID. So this is the first year after 7 years that we're bringing it back, and people had requested that it become a little bit longer. So our race director and I walked it a few days ago, and I think it's going to come out at around 5.25 miles. So it'll be a good one.
I wish I could say I was joining you.
It's walkable. It doesn't have to be run.
Okay, all right, maybe I'll show up.
No, that's awesome. One of the things that I was also really excited about was the offerings beyond the camp. And that was your wedding facility. And we do have some photos, and this was the first time I got an opportunity to see it, and it's really beautiful. So I would love to showcase our, the photos, and have you guys talk about the weddings.
Sure. So Deer Lake just lends itself well to outdoor gorgeous pictures. There are so many places on the property where you could have a beautiful wedding backdrop. We do have a small little A-frame chapel up on a cliff looking down where we originally planned on getting married, but
Oh my goodness.
yeah, there it is.
There it is.
And then we also have an amphitheater that overlooks the water. And then there's also just plenty of really pretty areas right along the water. So if you like a natural outdoor theme, then that's your place.
But we're really lucky to have an absolutely gorgeous, if I do say so, heavy post and beam constructed barn that was
Yes.
built as a dining hall, and it's gorgeous inside with a huge fieldstone fireplace. To
Yes.
sit there and just use it as a dining facility seems like a little bit of a waste. So it's been a great venue for a variety of different events. From a few of the local sports leagues have held their annual banquets and award ceremonies there, and then of course the weddings. But I think one of the really big things about weddings for us is it's a great way for us to support our outdoor educational programming, to keep it cost effective for everybody. So we're not a traditional wedding venue. It's quite a unique spot, and some of the things that we do are really focused on protecting the property.
I mean, look how beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It's gorgeous. So we do a limited number of weddings really to subsidize our offerings so that we can offer at cost or no cost outdoor educational opportunities, which of course is our main mission. So
And I love that you're sharing that. So just to, be completely transparent, when you're doing weddings, you do have restrictions
Yes.
on
Yep.
what is allowed and not allowed, because I think you're really trying to protect the integrity of your property.
Yes.
So are you open to sharing just
Sure.
what
You wanna
that
talk
really
about
looks
easement?
like?
Yeah, sure.
well, specific to the weddings, we have like noise ordinances.
Sure.
And then we are really trying to be careful in balancing protecting the land with being open to everyone, and so you can't drive all over the place.
Sure.
So it might be a little less convenient, but no less beautiful. And we're actually in the process of working on a conservation easement that would protect the land forever. So even if something happened to Pathfinders, nobody could ever develop it. So it will always be available.
And could you just say, what is Pathfinders?
Pathfinders is actually a nonprofit organization, so it's a charity that was started in 1997, and it was created back when the property was owned by the Boy Scouts, and at that point the Boy Scouts didn't have any programs that allowed girls to participate. And our predecessors and the original rangers of the camp wanted to be able to offer programming to a larger audience, including girls, so they created a nonprofit. And when the property went up for sale, that nonprofit went from a small, ran a couple programs a year operation, and they joke about kicking tractor tires, and that was about it, to that massive fundraising machine that was able to accept all those wonderful donations from the community. So today, Pathfinders owns the property and does business as Deer Lake Outdoor Center.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
Those pictures of the wedding, oh, so gorgeous. I just love seeing how that looks. I mean, that must just be like amazing when the people who get married get their wedding photos back with all that backdrop. So, but I'm very curious about what your vision is of Deer Lake for the next year, 3 years, 5 years. Where do you see this going?
We are heavily invested in the buildings and upkeep of the facility and the trails, really making sure that it is a accessible place for everyone. And we've also been doing a lot of work in the background to prepare to operate on our own, because it was operated as just a property owned by the Scouts for so long. We had to develop all of the internal processes to keep everything running. So where we're going from here is really focused on investing in the buildings that need a lot of maintenance and repair. And then We are continuing to work on individual relationships with different people and organizations to help expand our reach into communities that aren't seen in outdoor spaces like that and can really benefit from what we can offer and what the property offers.
So there's funding involved in that.
There's a lot of funding involved in that.
And because you had also discussed previously was creating new structures, I think for like plumbing and
So
bathrooms.
We have just started work with an architectural and engineering firm to design a new wellness center in the center of camp. So that will house our day camp offices, but more importantly, it will host our flush toilets, which when you're in the outdoors might not sound all that exciting, but compare that to an outhouse, that's a huge change that helps people feel comfortable.
It's one of those barriers to entry for someone that doesn't necessarily love camping. You know,
That's
it
right.
eases them into the outdoors.
That's right. With like a little running water.
For sure, but definitely needing funding for that, which is why, Pathfinder's running the nonprofit is certainly helpful.
Yes,
Absolutely.
And
we
the
just
donations,
got a
so.
grant so that we could start the process with the firm to get the design and the drawings and everything so that we can, move on to the next steps of funding and building.
And we're really
Exciting.
excited this summer
Yeah.
to be able to share the renderings of what it will look like and
Yes, I'm
what kind of
very
impact
excited.
it's going to have for people who want to visit.
Oh,
Absolutely.
that's awesome. Well, I love that you've shared about the different buildings and you have buildings for people to camp in and tent camping. But how do you maintain all of this?
Volunteers.
We love volunteers.
That's all.
Jennifer and I are the two full-time employees, and there's absolutely no way that we could ever even dream of keeping up. So we have a team of people who donate so much time and expertise and love for the property.
That's our tractor crew right there. We have the majority of our machines are beautiful antiques, and they
Well
take a lot of
said.
tender loving care to keep going. So during the off months, we have tractor night, and there's an amazing group of volunteers that keep those old tractors going for us.
So we have people who help from everything from administrative tasks to preparing beaches and replacing windows. So it's a lot of fun to meet people and to hear the impact that the camp programs or the property has had on their experiences and how they want to come back and really help.
Some of that looks like really hard work. I mean, clearing trails, right? And
Yes.
Some
down
of it is
trees.
very labor intensive.
We have some pretty amazing volunteers. I'm not going to lie. We have volunteers that are willing to get dirty and cold and exhausted in the middle of winter helping us with dam repairs or splitting cord upon cord of firewood and stacking it. They are the backbone of Deer Lake. We could not do it without them.
may I ask, where did they all come from?
They all have a unique story. We have people who have been involved with the camp or the property in some way for 40, 50 or
Before we
longer
were
more
born.
years. And there are a couple who remember when I was a child. And then we have new people who come to a wedding or they come to camp and they see what's going on and they ask how they can pitch in and help.
That is endearing.
Have you guys ever thought about reaching out to local businesses for the philanthropy work?
So we do reach out usually with specific requests. Like we have the town picnic, so we reach out for sponsorships for that. We've reached out locally for sponsorships for our run. So for that kind of thing we do. And then we also are looking for grant opportunities and that kind of thing.
Okay.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yes. So we talked about certainly your volunteers. We got to see some of them in action, doing what they do so well. Anything else particularly that might be coming up and coming?
Yeah, we have lots of little things going on. In the month of April, we have a fishing derby. It's put on by the Connecticut Yankee Council, but it is open to all youth. They'll be stocking trout in our lagoon for fishing.
So is that an annual event?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
We also have The Shoreline Astronomical Society meets every month, and it's also free and open to the public to come and view the stars and learn a little bit about astronomy.
In early June, they're going to have a
star party, yeah.
and have an incredible array of telescopes, and then people who actually know what they're looking at when you look through the telescope. Unlike me. It's a lot of fun to hear just how passionate they are about the.
And we're working with DEEP. We're offering a boater's certification class that's coming up in April. We'll also be working with DEEP to do a open to the public learn to fish program. So it'll be like one-on-one teaching you how to fish. The trail run, like I mentioned.
Now, are these things that people are paying to attend so that funds are going directly to the camp?
Some are and some are free.
Okay.
So the, for example, the fishing one is free. That's something that DEEP offers for free. The boating class, I think the registration fee goes directly to Deer Lake.
That's $25 to participate in that 3-day class.
And that's so
That's
reasonable.
I agree.
Yeah, and you
Wow.
get you have to take,
We-
if you pass the test, you get your boater certification.
We really strive to offer programming at cost, or if we can find ways to subsidize it for free.
And then we've also had scout groups that have reached out, so we'll be running a rock climbing program for a group of scouts that asked for it. Really,
That's cool.
if anybody wants some sort of outdoor programming, they can contact us and we can pretty much tailor it to what they're looking for.
That's pretty amazing.
a boutique service. That sounds interesting. What I'm trying to grasp here is that you really are building something really special there, and there's no limits. So, me saying this, what do you must have something in your dream bag. Like, what would you love to see happen?
For me, the most magical times at Deer Lake are when it's full of people. Like, I love weekends when we have a million reservations and all the different campsites and all the different people are utilizing the space, and just the sound of people outside enjoying themselves. So as our camping season ramps up, because not everybody likes to winter camp, it just, it brings that magical time back, and I'm very excited to see it up and running. And I love that we're getting more and more private family rentals, since we were for so long only for Boy Scouts. It's really neat to see that growth and more people
I think
trying
we
to
have time for a quick private rental story. If you could elaborate on that so people can hear about it and maybe want to plug into it. What are the private family rentals more like?
So we offer cabins and rent those out for either the night or weekend. And we see a large number of families who have rented out in particular Point Cabin, which is located right on a peninsula in the middle of our lake. It has a beautiful window that overlooks the water. So whether it's summer, winter, spring, or fall, there's a gorgeous view outside. And it's quiet. There's virtually no cell reception, so if you bring your children, they can bring their cell phones, but they don't work very well, and they're forced to just be and experience.
So they have to listen to you.
I don't know if they have to listen to you, but they definitely do need to realize where they are and step outside of that device that so many of us can get trapped in.
And we all know like how amazing just being in nature is. Like it resets us, it grounds us, it replenishes us. And I think that is something that's really beautiful, that when people come to Deer Lake, it's like they get the experience of like those gorgeous lakes and that waterfall. Like that was pretty beautiful. And, they just get to experience the nature, the trails, being surrounded by trees, because nature takes care of itself. It knows what to do. And it's just so wonderful to just be in that space.
I think it'll take care of you if you let it as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
I've hugged a few trees, I can say.
We have plenty to hug.
There's power in that.
Yeah, there's power in the trees. Yes.
So how can people reach you? I mean, obviously you have contact information that we're going to put up on the screen.
So we have in my opinion, a great website. It's been a labor of love. But you can reach us on our website at deerlakeoutdoors.org. And you can find out pretty much everything there is to know, from programming to rentals to event space. We have an events page, so you have a calendar of upcoming events.
You can make your campsite or cabin reservation right on there. You can sign up for classes right on there. And
That's so helpful to know, because being a local, I didn't know you rented cabins. So now that I know that, send my guests your way.
Yeah. We have cabins, and then when you're ready, you can move down to a lean-to, and then you can move to a tent. And then under the stars.
I really do think you have a very special thing, and we're so happy
And you
that
have
we
a
were saved.
connection. You have a connection to Deer Lake.
A little bit. My kids spent some time there in the summer,
Yes.
and they had a great time. So
Good.
And
So that's
it's
very cool.
literally right down the road.
So that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for people to really venture out and be able to experience all that you guys have to offer.
Well, we're
'Cause
excited
it
too.
really is beautiful.
It's an honor to be able to live there and have that be in our front and backyard. And one of my favorite things is having people visit, and we usually hear two things: either, gosh, this is 5 minutes down the road and we've never been here, or, oh my gosh, I remember when. And you get to hear all the great stories. So it's great.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. And
thank you for
sharing-
having us.
Thank you so
Sharing
much.
all
Thank
of
you
this
for sharing.
fabulous information.
Sharing your beautiful place with us and with our viewers. And I'm sure people are going to be like checking out your events.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it
You
very
are
much.
welcome. And remember, always look for the silver linings.